every conversation I ever had. I've told everybody in my family, and it threw my uncle off. I got an uncle that he was out there in the street too, and I told him one time something he told me when I was probably like 11 or 12 or something that I always remembered, and it shocked him that I could even remember and took it to heart what he said. And I said, I be telling y'all, your kids paying attention, even if they the most stubborn some bitches in the world that you think is a brat. They may not accept what you say right at that moment. You know what I mean? But they will flash back to it. Even if it's they flash back to it after a complete fuck up has happened. They will flash back to those lessons and things that you said. And in the future, it either will be their encouragement to push forward or the thing that saves them from fucking up. You know what I'm saying? Because man, I think of so many conversations of different stuff that my mom said that was right, and I had to learn this shit the hard way. You know what I'm saying? And then after it happened, I'd be like, God damn, that shit happened exactly like she fucking said. I hate that shit. You know what I'm saying? If I would have just did what she said, damn it, this shit wouldn't have fucking happened. It's hard for a kid to admit that because, you're a kid, you're rebellious, you got a problem with authority. So it's hard for you, a kid, to accept, or, a young adult, to accept what their parents saying right then. But it'll kick in later.
I don't think so. It depends on the parent, man. And it depends on how you talk to your kids and the kind of relationship you got. Now, I ain't trying to toot my own horn, but toot. I'm a mother. I'm a motherfucker when it comes to kids, bro.
Yeah.
I understand them, and I don't fucking cut them no fucking slack. Because the world ain't gonna cut them no slack.
Not none.
And they appreciate that shit, man. They do. Now, I'm telling you, man, my daughter has said things to me. Bruh, she up on game that I got just a few years ago, Nick. She already on it. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
For real, man. For real. But it's like from elementary. I put it like this, man. Everybody thinks that kid is just the sweetest thing, unless you just got a monster, then you know that motherfucker rotten, right? But I'm not so I don't know, delusion, is that the word, delusional? I'm not so blinded to think that my child ain't doing the same shit that these other goddamn kids is doing, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So,
like, me personally, I've been cussing like a sailor since I was in elementary.
I think we all have.
All right?
Mm-hmm.
So, the shit-eating grin on my daughter's face when I tell her, I said, look, I know you at school cussing and shit and talking all kind of shit. They get that shit-eating grin. Mm-hmm. It's like, you ain't got to lie and say you don't, because I know your ass is. I was doing the same fucking shit. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Don't bring that shit in here. You fuck around and say some of that shit to me, I'm in your ass. But, hey, as a young lady, there may be times when you need to talk like that, but for the most part, leave the profanity alone. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Just try to shy away from it if you can, all right? Then, we had an instance. It's a shit ton of kids next door, right? Yeah. A shit ton of them little motherfuckers. And they just welcome themselves on my porch, spraying spray paint, fucking with shit I got out there. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And my babies was playing in the yard. And they run in the house. They say, hey, them kids been on our porch and they sprayed some of your spray paint. I said, oh, is that right? Well, you need to go handle that then, don't you? Bruh. Both them little motherfuckers immediately did a 180, headed right outside and straightened all them little motherfuckers. Do you hear me? And when they came back in, my daughter, the oldest one, she said, Dad, I got it straight. But I had to use a few choice words. I said, well, that's all right, baby. I understand. Now, I don't know what the fuck she said. But obviously, whatever the fuck she said, they got the motherfucking picture because they ain't been on the fucking porch since. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now, just in that instance, what all kind of lessons did a motherfucker learn? You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Don't be no punk. You know what I'm saying? Stand up for your motherfucking self.
Protect what's yours.
Let an adult know what's going on. And that adult is going to tell you how you need to handle this shit. Go handle this shit like you were told. You already know you've got the creative license. I didn't tell you go out there and cuss them little motherfuckers out. I did not say that. You know what I'm saying? I just said you need to go handle that.
Hey, we used to ask.
And that's what the fuck they done.
We used to ask when we was little.
Huh?
We used to ask. Like say for instance, my grandma might tell me, go tell Mike I said bring his ass in this house. Like, when we say it just like that?
Right.
What you mean? When I cuss. You better go out there and tell him exactly what I said. You couldn't wait to get out there and say that cuss word out loud. But it said bring your ass.
And you better
in this motherfucking house.
Dirty, dusty, black, musty ass back in the house.
You gotta add a couple of more cuss words to it, goddamn. Hey, they're just like, look, my wife the other day, I had to open my son's door because of the same thing you just said. My wife the other day come get, and you know what? Now I think about it, she killed me doing that too. You come get me because there's a problem. You're the parent too. Slap somebody. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, you come. Because my son in there playing his PlayStation and he cursing, playing his PlayStation. And, he got the earphones on, so he don't realize he's cussing loud. You know what I'm saying? And if you play by room, you can hear him. So she come tell me, and I stand outside the door just to listen. And the crazy thing is, he wasn't cussing like you'll think. He was cussing more like, oh, nigga, you ain't gonna do nothing. Sit your ass there. Ah, shut up, nigga. Like they joking. You know what I'm saying? And I still wouldn't have said something like, boy, you is in this house, don't be cussing, you know what I mean? But at the same time, I had that thought, because I told her when I came back out. What I told her when she told me, you know what I'm saying? I was like, when she told me, like, he cussing, like she just amazed or shocked or something. I'm like, first of all, my son in high school, you know what I'm saying? I'm like,
come on, man.
Nigga, we were cussing at 7, like we was Richard Pryor. We was... If you came out on our basketball court at 7 years old, I'm talking about you would have heard 35,000 motherfuckers and some of bitches and weak asses and we saying everything under the damn sun because we come from a long line of cussers, understand me. It was all kind of cussing going on where where we grew up at. I'm sorry. You let them get out of the deck of cards, boy, you heard every cuss word under the sun. You know what I'm saying? We got it honest. You understand me? But of course, at the same time, we never did it around, grown people or nothing. But we were by ourselves though, goddamn. So I'm like, that's kind of a thing that you know that, man. Like all kids know that now. You want to get into these disrespectful kids that see grown folk, that's what we didn't do. And I tell people that to this day. I'd have been in rooms or like at a barbershop or somewhere, like a barbershop, for example. I've been in a barbershop that was full of gangsters because it's a pool hall next door. So it's packed with just some of the most gangsterous niggas under the sun. And a pastor came in. But we didn't know. I didn't know he was a pastor. Somebody said it. You see what I'm saying? When he came in the door, I guess, to get his haircut. All the cussing stopped. Our whole conversation changed. Before that Pastor walked in there, boy, we were talking about pussy, big booty bitches, and everything. Everything under the sun until they walked in there. And we were grown as hell. You know what I'm saying? All that stopped. Now, that got lost, but that's also part of the thing I say about parenting. And people don't realize.
But you know what?
That's what I said about your kids are going to remember that stuff. And without knowingly doing it, they'll just do it. Because a person comes in with, you're supposed to respect the authority as you was taught when you was small. So you just automatically do it. These kids that you see that don't do it were never taught that. That's why they don't do it. They don't think they're doing anything wrong.
Reverend though.
Huh?
Even that reverend though. Even that reverend in the barbershop. Sometimes a motherfucker will say, look, I know y'all in here talking about fucking and shoot. Don't mind me. You know, I'm just in here. And niggas still wouldn't go back to that shit.
Yeah.
Even if the nigga gave you... Because of respect, bro.
But see, that is taught. And I'm not going to say...
But it ain't necessarily just got to be a preacher now. It can just be any older.
Anybody.
Yeah, somebody older or female or something like that. Or somebody bring their kids in, that kind of thing, you know. Something like that.
Or a little bitty kid.
Oh. Yeah, somebody come in with a little kid or something, so everybody just stop talking like that. But I tell people, they be thinking that now when they see kids do that or people do that and they don't stop and they just be rude like that, they be thinking like they doing it on purpose. Well, they don't have no respect. You have to be taught respect. Right. If you were never taught it, you don't realize you're doing anything wrong. You know what I'm saying? Something ain't quite right. That's why you know, it's the same thing with encouragement. All that kind of stuff just kind of goes hand in hand. If you put it this way, dude, everybody gonna have negative people in their life. You're gonna see do wrong stuff that's not right. The truth of the matter is, you gotta have an even kilt. You can't just have all negativity. So that's why I be telling people about parents. That's why it's so important what you do as a parent. Because you may be the only positive that the child get to see. It depends on what circumstances you in. So if the parent is also negative as fuck, the child gonna be that way. It's the same thing when I've told y'all this story before, and I promise you, I guarantee you there's some kind of study on it. People tend to be the people they hang around. They will adapt to them if they hang around a group of people. And I've watched it happen. I've had a friend that was smart as fuck going to school to be a teacher and was like probably on the third year or so, like one more year to graduate, something like that, year and a half, and ended up just for some strange unknown reason hanging around a bunch of goddamn hoodlums. Just, ain't no strange reason. End up dating a hoodlum, so started hanging around a bunch of hoodlums. Next thing I know, this motherfucker switched from saying, if I get this job making $10 an hour, I'll be an made it. I think I'm gonna just sit out of school for a while. Wait, what? The fuck? Wait, what? I was like, how you switch from that to that? And then I realized it was the people she hung around. The people she was hanging around were the type of people that to them, $10 an hour was a lot of money. And that was their goal, because to them, like that's their roof. Now, that also goes hand in hand with encouragement. Like, that's what I was talking about. A lot of these kids now that I talk to, the younger people, I talk to young black males, that's how they talk. Their proverbial glass ceiling is low as fuck. You know what I'm saying? It's super fucking low. I'm like, hey, that's cool and all, but I think you can do way better than that. I had to, talk them into, dude, you need to raise your ceiling up. That's low. If you're gonna do something, set that as a goal for a step, and then say I'm gonna take the next step up. Don't set that as I've made it. This is it. Something that's so trivial that it's kind of easily accomplished. You know what I'm saying? You don't get people that encourage people to do great things. You know what I'm saying? Like, they'll be like, the great thing to them is getting a car. Like, that ain't really, it's no great.
Way in high school.
Yeah, or that. I just